first came into the contact with Salvo Services through the Bridge program in 2012. After probably battling addiction for 28 years, really low point in my life. I was in a jail cell and I got put in a program called Drug Court, and part of my conditions was to be released into a rehab as part of my bail conditions. So I encountered the Bridge program, and it was a time in my life when I really had nobody else. So yeah, I really was loved into the kingdom, really. Like the people just loved me and extended grace to me when a time in my life when I really didn't deserve it. My family had all turned their back on me, and I'd lost everything I owned, and I'd ended up on the streets. Like I was 64 kilos, just living on the streets of Perth, and jail was just the end of the line for me. And so yeah, it brought a lot of hope back into my life. I think like I was really struggling with depression and anxiety, and yeah, I don't think my life could have got any lower, I don't think. But yeah, I say the light just came into my life, I think. Like, yeah, it was just part of God's plan to make the Salvos. Yeah. Oh man, it's just been massive in my life. Probably from death to life, really. Like I was just dead and lost in my addiction, and yeah, slowly went through the Bridge program and just understanding how my brain works, and the classes, and yeah, the counselling, and just people loving me, finding community, and actually starting to find a space where I felt like I belonged, and people just accepted me for who I am. And then went through the Salvos, did an internship with the youth department, and then 2013, as I transitioned out in a transitional house, I came back and I started working for the Salvos with our homelessness services, crisis accommodation in the city. And then I started the Garden of Hope, connected to the Bridge program, like the Harry Hunter Recovery Centre, at the end of 2013. And I think it's, like in the scriptures it says we love because he loved us first. And I think just loving people, I think just providing a space where we sit alongside the rehab now and just try and catch them as they come out and link them into a healthy community. And yeah, so much happens here, like we have gardening and propagation and like gatherings, community meals, and do life groups. And we have yarning circles, like share and prayer groups. And yeah, it's just an amazing space for community. And I think the table, like where we're sitting now, can hold 60, 70 people when it's full. And I think just sitting around the table and eating together, it's really just building a family, like just based on the love of Jesus, just loving each other. And there's no right or wrong way to do things. We're just quick to say sorry and share what we have, and just try and forgive each other, and just do it in a garden space. Like I think it's an amazing setting, really, like just to be outside, and yeah, there's something peaceful about this space. Yeah, I love it. I feel very blessed to do what I do now, and my life's so much different. All my relationships have been restored with my families, and got so many good people in my life. Met my wife, she was my boss at the youth department. So she keeps harassing me. I just had to surrender and love her in the end. And yeah, no, it's good. Life's so good. It's so good, eh? Very grateful. Yeah, just trying to think how all our services can come back and work together. I was thinking the other night, we had an info night with our leader, Miriam Lewis, and she was saying about how we've changed over the years, and we've come in, like sort of in the building. And I think, and she was talking about new beginnings. I actually think it's just going back to where we started. Like William Booth called us to get out of the building and meet people where we're at. So I really think we need to do that, and yeah, just meet people in neutral spaces. And like I love the garden. Like I'm really blessed to work here because we've got all of our services sort of wrapped around this area. Like we've got the C4 with the independent living units for over 55s, and local core, and our recovery services or AOD services up the hill, and just people coming, like they come to you, and I'd just love to see that happening more, and people find connection, whether it's through our Salvo stores or volunteering for Red Shield collecting or Christmas hampers, or the Salvo stores or down here in the garden. But I think the relationships get formed when you sit and eat together and just spend time together. I think it's good for people to make their own choices. But I'd love to see our services, just spending, like just eating together and even praying together, and just anything that brings you closer together and builds a relationship. Yeah, because ultimately you want people their life to be transformed, and you can only do that in community. You can't do it on your own. And yeah, what's the African proverb? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's good.